She was so young and had so much promise, and we do hope one day to see a behemoth like her rise
Sorry, we
again.
actually have another funeral that we need for you to do right now.
She too was also so young, and we hope to see another app like her rise
sorry
again.
to do this to you again, but we have one more funeral that we need for you to do.
She was so young, and we just hope to see another behemoth like her. I'm having war flashbacks. How many times do we have to go through this? What does the universe have against short form content? We have been trying to make a safe space online for short form vertical content now for like the last decade. And it just seems like every time we think we're getting there, something just always seems to come in the way. With Vine, it was money, I think, and a lack thereof it. With Musical.ly, it was a better company, I guess. And Musical.ly was like one copyright claim away from literally never existing. And now with TikTok, it's the American government. It's just always something. We finally had TikTok, the one app that seemed to be able to circumvent all the other issues that the other short form content apps just couldn't get around. So many people for so long have been predicting the end of TikTok, and people were always just calling them bitter and haters. But if you look at the track record of apps like this, they don't typically survive very long. And here we are. And also remember that TikTok wasn't originally paying any creators. So I mean, it was safe to predict that it could have possibly ended up like Vine. And then even when they did start paying people, for some reason they only started paying people in 6 countries. I never really felt that it was gonna replace anything, because even though all the apps are always trying to like compete with each other and copy each other, they still all have their main thing that they do the best. And all of them do come with like a very specific culture too, that is like basically impossible to replicate. Now, apparently the government hasn't actually released like official documents saying why it's being banned, but it's pretty widely understood that it has something to do with the amount of data that TikTok is siphoning from its users and suspicions of the app potentially spreading propaganda to its users. But it's a good thing that getting rid of TikTok will stop the spread of propaganda, because it's not like there's any popular news media that does that. And it seems like the government just didn't feel right about a non-American company having access to all that data and having that much access to the American people. And to be honest, I feel like this Chinese scare really did start around COVID. I feel like was the catalyst for why the government even started looking into TikTok. I don't know that for sure. If the FBI agent in my phone is watching this, please leave me alone, all right? I am just yapping. But anyways, as it stands right now, it's that app that makes a bunch of citizens happy, and also that they run their business through. So I also just want to preface that at the time that I'm filming this, TikTok is getting banned, because I know that there's been a lot of like scares about TikTok getting banned in the past. We've been blueballed about this for a while. So by the time I'm posting it, could some of the information I'm saying in this video maybe not be relevant anymore?
Yes.
But is that going to stop me from posting?
Never.
This video may or may not end up being like a timepiece that you like dug up in a capsule. If you're seeing this in the future, figure out time travel and come help us, man. Shit is bad back here. Either way, it's got me thinking about short form content, but also short form content creators. And if this TikTok ban does in fact happen, whether now, whether it's already happened, or whether it's gonna happen in the future, where do all the lost TikTokers go?
Okay, so obviously when I filmed this video, RedNote wasn't a thing yet. And right now, it is a thing. And I feel like, low-key, it's not gonna last. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. I just feel like, first of all, this app got rules. Like real rules about things you can't talk about. And what else do Americans love and need more than free speech? Let's be so absolutely for real. You can't talk about drugs and sex and corn and politics on there. What the hell else do we be talking about? That's literally all we talk about. What the hell else am I going over there to say? Also, I've heard there's been like some updates recently about like separating foreign content and Chinese content for the original Chinese users, because we are already saying things and doing things that like the Chinese government doesn't want people over there to see. So we are effectively going over there and ruining it. We are. And I'm not sure how long this is gonna last. I would like to see it last forever, but I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, man. We have a tendency of ruining everything, and it's giving that. It really is.
I have seen a fair few amount of TikTokers saying goodbye to their audiences, and it is kind of sad. I have seen some of them talking about like hopping to different platforms, YouTube the most. I'm not totally sure for like long form YouTube or like YouTube Shorts, because there are other apps where short form content can live, but they definitely don't have the same culture as TikTok, and they definitely don't have the same algorithm as TikTok. So I don't know if we're ever gonna find these people again, because TikTok feeds you your content, and I feel like most other platforms kind of rely on you coming across content that's meaningful to you. The algorithms learn you, but slower, and they feed you so much more, you know, and in bulk, not one at a time. I guess Instagram Reels is like the closest second, but I don't know. I feel like Instagram Reels is a very spooky place, very devious energy on there. I came across this TikTok by user Francesca Ramsey, who I feel like is kind of like the internet's crystal ball.
What's really wild is if TikTok does end up getting banned, there's going to be a bunch of people who are like huge, like have huge audiences, and we will never hear from them again.
So Vine died in 2017, God rest her soul. So there's a fair amount of people who've never used it at all, but I definitely remember when it died. Like, I remember how that shook the world up. But Vine never had like really an algorithm, I guess. The people you followed were pretty much like all you saw. I don't know, maybe by the time I got the app, it was just already on its downfall, but I remember distinctly the app being actual garbage. No offense to the devs, because I'm pretty sure they weren't getting paid.
I'm going to sound so old, but I remember Vine. There were people who were huge on Vine, and you just never heard from them again because they could thrive on Vine. They couldn't thrive anywhere else.
But the fallout from that was that most of the people that I had liked from Vine, I haven't seen since. When I say a good amount of those people fell off the face of the planet and went totally dark, and we did get some like really big YouTube behemoths off of there, but for the most part, when that app died, it took a lot of people with it. Without that app, we wouldn't have gotten Danny Gonzalez or this Vine. And I'll be forever grateful. And I think there's a lot of reasons for why this happens, but the biggest I feel is that some people have a knack for short form content in a way that they might not for long form content. And let me explain before you call me a pretentious hater.
Which I am.
But that's not my angle right now. Because Vine's main draw, and originally TikTok's main draw, was making something entertaining, captivating, and funny in a quick, short amount of time. Also, usually just in the moment, right off the cuff. You just film it on your phone, vertical, and that's it. And while Vine, I think, was more comedy-centric, and TikTok is maybe a little more commentary-centric, I think the general vibe of being engaging and entertaining quickly and off the cuff is still a similarity between the two, and maybe just generally with short-form content. And I genuinely think that that is a skill. I feel like it's kind of like the internet definition of authenticity personified. TikTok is. I had this thought right now as I was walking home from work, so I'm just gonna say it into my iPhone front-facing camera in my little headphone mic. And the audio is gonna be a little scuffed, but that's the vibe. That's what you come to TikTok for. I'm gonna tell you this story while I'm doing my hair or my skincare just in my bedroom. So if TikTok is inherently off the cuff, YouTube is inherently produced. And it's always been, really. But for as long as I've been watching YouTube videos have always come with an element of production value. The videos probably have a script. You probably gotta know how to edit. Nothing about YouTube has an off-the-cuff energy. Everything on here has an energy of this took me a lot of time and effort. So please watch and like and subscribe, because I've been working on this video for weeks. Not mine though. My videos clearly have an off-the-cuff energy. And the TikTok algorithm does do like a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of feeding your content to people. Somebody is gonna see what you post. However, I do think though, TikTok was built off of there's something trending. There's a sound, there's a game, there's a trend, there's an opinion, there's something trending, and become a part of that conversation. All that to say though, I do still think that it is a skill set to be able to do that well, because I don't think it's that easy to be able to be entertaining off the cuff. I don't think it's that easy to be entertaining by just hopping on to a trend that a lot of people are on, because something you say or do needs to stand out from that. And I say this because it's truly something that I don't believe that I have. And I'm not saying that in a disparaging way. I'm saying that in a different skill set kind of way, you know? I don't make short form content really at all. And in the same way that I feel like I struggle to translate what I do here on YouTube with a script and some Final Cut Pro into engaging short form content, I would imagine that the translation from what they do into this could also be quite difficult. And for a lot of people, it could be a steeper learning curve than it's even worth. And if you were monetized on TikTok, if you were able to earn money off your TikToks, if you were running your business off TikTok, replicating that on here, I genuinely don't know how you would do it. I don't. And then I also do wonder a little, where will the lost TikToks go? I will admit, I'm very partial to a compilation video. The only difference though with TikTok compilations and Vine compilations is that, did you notice that Vine compilations tend to be based on the creator and TikTok compilations just tend to be TikTok compilations of just a bunch of people? And that's what kind of makes me sad. I'm gonna miss my specific timeline quite a bit because there's something that I feel like all other apps have been able to do better than TikTok has. And I think, again, I didn't use the Vine app enough, I feel like, to be making the claims that I'm making, but I'm gonna make them anyway. I'm gonna move with the confidence and boldness of a white man. But I feel like because Vine and your timeline there prioritize the people that you follow over just everything everywhere all at once, even on Vine, even though it was 6 seconds, for some reason, you did actually know and feel some measure of connection to the people you followed on Vine. Not that I don't know of any popular TikTokers, but I feel like I know them by face and not by name. Like if I see them in any of the TikTok compilations that are about to flood YouTube, I'll recognize them. But could I search them out myself by name? I'm not sure, because TikTok feeds you content way more topic-based than person-based, or people talking about this topic and then you get a ton of people talking about that topic. But none of the individuals really stand out to you. You don't remember the specific creators. And I don't think that's anything to do with the creator themselves. I think it's just the nature of how TikTok runs and the fact that it is more trend-based rather than person-based. I'm excited for people to upload TikTok compilations though. I still watch Vine compilations to this day.
To this day.
But as for where the content will go, I'm interested to see as well. I'll be honest. Like, do I think the type of things I see on my TikTok timeline, I'm gonna see on my Instagram Reels? Like I said before, they don't have the culture that TikTok has. I can't imagine it right now, but hey, I couldn't imagine TikTok disappearing either. So here we are. YouTube Shorts, I don't know because I refuse to scroll YouTube Shorts. They scare me. There's also Twitter. I don't know if you know this, but they have like a shorts feed, but I don't know what the culture is there. And to be honest, I don't think I want to. I think that I personally, I'm just gonna scroll Instagram Reels instead of TikTok, and that'll feed really nicely, I think, into my body dysmorphia. So that's nice. But do I think there's gonna be anything that truly fully replaces it? Absolutely not. I think there's gonna be other apps that spring up that are gonna do the same thing in terms of like hosting short form content, but it's not gonna be TikTok. It might be something else, it might be something better. Who knows? I'm excited to see. And will I be on whatever that app is lurking? Probably. And I can't wait for all the new issues that we go and create over there, the new beefs. And I'm excited to make videos on the shit that goes on those new apps. The internet's been trying to get rid of short form content now for like a decade, and it's still here somehow. So clearly it'll always still be here, like a roach after a bomb. So what was the point of this video and what is the wrap up? As of filming this, we are T-minus a couple weeks till this app is gone forever. Get to downloading. And that, my friends, is the video. Me and the most long-form audience that you've ever seen in your life, Mooncake is fast asleep, are grateful that you watched. I feel like by the time this video comes out, it's gonna be after the 19th, so I think you would have known by now if TikTok is banned or not. But I am curious, based on whatever happened, what your feelings are. If it has actually been banned, where do you think the lost TikToks and TikTokers are gonna go? I think whether or not it dies today, tomorrow, or the next day, it's fun to hypothesize because I feel like there's a clear pattern here where short form content apps don't seem to last very long. And if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.